Hey everybody, I just got done replying to all of the comments that have been left on my last video in text, and I told Skinny Johnson that I would clarify in another video what I was talking about in regards to getting rid of, actually, basically this entire concept of going from religious background, Christianity, to atheism, and my comment, in case you didn't read the comments, the comment from Skinny Johnson was, I understand the problem coming from a non-religious family, and myself never having a belief, I really couldn't help you. But if I were in your shoes, I would probably just be a coward and shut up about it. Um, that's kind of what my point is that I have shut up about it. And my reply was, that's part of the problem. I have to reject all that I have learned in regards to a God, and that was a lot of my life. And I feel like I have a responsibility to tell those around me and my family that I don't believe anymore. I feel like they waste time and energy thinking that I'm lost or still searching, and I want them to know that I'm better off because of my disbelief. Um, I might have mentioned this, I'm not exactly sure. I might have mentioned it in the last video. Um, my mom at one point, okay, so my sister, uh, my oldest sister, was getting, she met her husband, and I think they only knew each other for like 6 or 8 months before they decided to get married. And, they did the whole engagement thing, and they planned the wedding and everything else. And during the process of that, my mom told my sister that she okay, my mom wanted my sister to talk to a specific guy that went to our school that really liked my sister, and my mom had heard in a vision or heard through prayer or heard from God, whatever, that uh, this guy and my sister were supposed to get married. And actually, I did mention the whole thing. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm really rambling. I drank a bit tonight, actually went out to the bar. Did not have a good time. I was just really bored today. Anyway, so my mom wanted my sister to talk to this guy that she thought that God had told my mom that my sister should marry. Now, of course, the God that my mom believes in so much that she believes that her God is telling her who her kids should marry. Um, that God I can't talk, neglected to tell my sister. Also neglected to tell this other guy. So my mom disagreed with my sister's decision to get married to the person that she had met and fell in love with and had a great relationship with. They're still together now. They've been married for, 14 years. Um, Sorry, 90, yeah, pretty much. And, you know, it, I, my sister, of course, was like, Mom, you're crazy, but okay, I'll go and talk to this guy. They had the conversation. They were like, I'm not really sure why we're having this conversation. And both of them were just kind of like, we, I don't even know if they ever even dated. I think it was just one of those, he had a crush on my sister. I don't think my sister ever really liked him. And, so it's just kind of like, okay, or my mom's kind of crazy and whatever, there's the conversation, okay, moving on. Well, then there were other people that disagreed with the relationship and actually expressed as much, to the point that my sister had to send out a letter to everybody that was a part of the wedding and everyone that had received an invitation, and tell everyone that, hey, look, we know that there are people out there, we're not going to name any names, you know who you are, that are saying that this relationship is not of God, it's not godly, it's not the way that it should have been or the way that God wanted it to be, and that our marriage is, a sham, and or, that it's a bad decision. And we want to tell everybody that if those are your feelings about this marriage, then you are not welcome to the wedding. I mean, the fact that my sister, who is Christian, and so is her husband, went to the same church and everything. The fact that they had to send a letter out to other Christians and tell them, look, we're not really concerned with what God is telling you. We're not really concerned about what your interpretation of the Bible is in regards to how our relationship is. We love each other and we're going to get married, and if you don't like it, you can go fuck yourself. And the simple fact that she had to do that to me is just astonishing. I mean, it's just really the amount of infighting just in each religion is so insane, and it is directly, so many times, directly caused by everyone feeling like they've got the red phone directly into God and knowing exactly what God's going to say. Now, when you are raised in that type of situation, in that type of environment, to where you honestly and truthfully are constantly listening, you want to hear what it is that God has for you, and you think that you hear things, and you translate it. Like, if I haven't told the story, then I'll just go through real quick. My mom thought that I was supposed to marry a girl named Caroline that went to Oral Roberts University, and for years she would tell me. Actually, I didn't even find this out until a couple of years later, but I had been dating a girl, and it was really serious, and actually it was the girl that I ended up getting engaged to. And my mom, I could always tell that my mom just didn't have, I didn't have my mom's blessing with the relationship. And I finally found out it was because my mom honestly and truthfully believed that God told her, but forgot to tell me, that I was supposed to get married to a girl that went to ORU, and her name was Caroline. And it's like, Mom, you already failed miserably with my older sister, and finding out from you that this kind of horse shit is the reason why you haven't liked any of my ex-girlfriends or my current girlfriend is kind of bullshit. And it wasn't until another couple of years later, after I finally ended the relationship, ended the engagement, that my mom actually finally approached the subject and said, oh honey, don't worry about it. I release you from that thought, that process. And it's like, you don't have the power to release me from that thought and that process, because it's been ingrained in my head. It's been ingrained in my mind. Every time at my job currently, I talk to a lot of people. People answer the phone, or I ask them. I have to ask them what their name is, and every single time I hear either Carolyn or Caroline, I wonder. I always fucking wonder, and it drives me batshit crazy, and it makes me want to destroy my mom's reality, because she has damaged mine, and I know that that's a bad reason for it, which is the only reason why I'm pussyfooting around on this whole thing. I don't want to crush my mom. I love my mom. I care about my mom, and I want my mom to be happy. But at the same time, my mom did lasting psychological damage to me, and in the name of her religion. And it's the kind of thing that I'm going to need years and years of therapy to get out of and out from under. On a completely side note, I did finally just get my benefits from work. My health benefits from work, they are spectacular. So I should be able to start going to therapy and actually stick with it, and just do what I have to do in order to get past all of this, because I'm obviously still stuck. Yeah, so anyway, I hope that made some sense. The point, bringing it back around full circle, is that Christianity, religion, and religious teachings have been a big part of my life. They've been, to borrow from the religion that I was raised in, I always believed that I was a spirit who had a soul, or a spirit that had a mind that lived inside a body. A full third of my life, I would say, up until about age 20, a full third of my life was dedicated to that spirit that doesn't exist. And having to work your mind around watching everything that you do to ensure that you're not doing damage to your spirit. I'm very surprised there are not more schizophrenics. Um, and or let me rephrase, more diagnosed schizophrenics in the Christian faith. Because teaching you that you are not a whole person. I mean, I'm not even talking about the sin aspect. The sin aspect is another thing. I'm amazed there aren't more Christian suicides. And maybe there are. And I've never looked at it. But, you're a worthless piece of shit, so you might as well kill yourself. And that is the extreme of your mind is flawed because you have addictions or because you have urges that you aren't supposed to be doing, because if you follow through with those urges, then you're doing damage to your spirit, and that makes God angry, or that hurts your chances to get to heaven, or it's not a Christian life. And it's like, it's not a conscience, it's a judge. You don't have a conscience, you have a judge in your head all the time. So, yeah, I could ramble on forever, as you guys probably know. So I'll go ahead and stop there. I think I'm gonna go to sleep. Yeah, I got nothing else going on. Alright, good night, everybody.